that's crop 2024. That's crop 2024. Now you tell me
Welcome
there's
to
no
Coffee
buds.
with the Old Guys.
I thought you sent him pictures of Kay Ballard. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's
And the bus.
Hey, Coffee with the Dog. Suck my dick.
That's her bush.
Let's get to Darren. Darren is here now. Darren Paltrowitz is the host of the Paltrocast. No, the Paltrocast. Right? Is that what it is? Paltrocast. He's an author. His most recent book is the DLR book, How David Lee Roth Changed the World or Saved the World. I don't remember exactly. I got to look that up. What is it? Change the World? Change the World, not Save the World. Darren Paltrowitz is here now. Let's welcome him. Why can't I add him to the stage? Oh, because you know why? Because I have a layout that doesn't include 6 people, right? There he is. Good morning, Darren.
Hey, Jackie. Hey, pleasure to see you again. Do you all know how nice and generous Jackie is? Can I start this with a compliment?
I don't see him.
Oh, well.
Oh, there he is.
Hey.
Yeah.
When I had Jackie on my show a couple months ago, the next day, he's like, "What's your address?" And he sends me his books.
Yeah.
That is one of the nicest people out there. Love his documentary. Thanks for having me on besides that.
Now, wait a minute. What did you interview me for? What did you interview me for? I thought I recognized your name.
When you had the
what was it for? Anything in particular?
Your documentary, like 6 months ago or so, you had some press days, and it was a pleasure to speak with you then and traded some emails.
Wow.
All right. That's
it wasn't live.
I'm at that age where everybody sounds familiar.
He was in his room where he is now. He didn't come. You weren't in the very same room with him, so you didn't get a hand job like I usually get when he's here.
And if Tony Walker's still in the chat, he had me on to promote the book. All these great people love governors, you know?
Yeah. So, it's good to reunite you guys. If you want to, like a little time in the green room together, I can, you can.
Matt, if you need.
Well, at any rate, thank you for the press.
Matt, if you want to show Darren's book, if you can probably fit it between my shoulder and Jackie's shoulder, and I'll physically move over to make room so you can see it if you want.
I don't know what you're saying. I don't know how I would even accomplish that because the book will come up directly in the middle and we'll cover Jackie's face then. I don't want to.
Okay, then put me in the middle and then I'll move over.
Put me in the middle.
Oh, yeah, we could do that. And then we can cover your ugly face with the book. How about that?
Yeah.
That's a good. I'm glad you. There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah. So tell me about this book, because we were talking about David Lee Roth and what a weird cat he is. Did you interview him for this book?
Yeah, the first chapter is about my interview with Dave in the early 2000s, and the rest of the book is kind of about my chase to figure out the real story. So I interviewed probably close to 200 people for this book. People who are in his band, people who worked with him, people who are diehard fans, etc. And there's a lot of stuff from Jackie's era on the Stern Show that's in this book because Howard got some of the best interviews out of Dave. Most interviews with Dave, he kind of steamrolls you, but then Howard and Jackie and crew kind of got Dave the real human being out there. So that's a lot of the source stuff too.
Are you familiar with Alex?
You know who he is?
What?
Who is he?
Alec. Who?
Alex Van Halen just came out with a statement, or he put out like a video on Twitter where he was talking about part of the problem was David Lee Roth was always jealous of the attention that Eddie was getting and saying, do less guitar solos. And like everybody who came, the appeal of Van Halen was mostly guitar rock heads, and Eddie was the rock god. And so, but David Lee Roth always, according to Alex anyway, was just jealous of Eddie's attention and asking him not to play guitar so much, which I thought was like, let's not be successful.
It's like telling Sinatra to sing less.
Yeah, exactly. Are you aware of that? And does that ring true to you? Knowing what you know about David Lee Roth?
It does. The guy definitely loves being the center of attention. The book kind of delves into that, about how it all starts with his childhood, where he basically had to entertain himself, and he was ADHD before anyone knew what ADHD was, etc. But I think that with Dave, a lot of things are more complex than he is blank, because he has good days and he has bad days like everybody, but the media kind of picks up and runs with one particular story.
Right. I remember seeing him on Rogan, and he was talking about his love for doing cover songs, and Eddie Van Halen hated that. He wanted to be strictly just do original music. Like the point of getting a record deal is so that you can do your music. You don't have to go out and do covers and all the time. But he was, you know, whatever, the Pretty Woman or whatever, you know, lots of different covers. I think Dancing in the Street was the one that made Eddie kind of like freak out. Like, oh, we're doing covers of Dancing in the Street. What do you mean by change the world? How David Lee Roth changed the world?
Well, the rhetorical question I ask you, is early MTV a catapult for changing the world? Did early MTV change the world?
In some ways, yeah, absolutely. I mean,
no, not. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Are you?
It changed the way we listen to music, and
are you kidding?
There came a time where you could not just put out music anymore. You had to do a video with it. And that made it really stupid, because bands were like struggling to try to be doing like short movies and all this kind of stuff, or you know, and I think it did because it took the focus off of doing really good music and said, well, we can't do a song unless it's going to work.
Wait.
We're waiting.
It changed the world of musicians and people who made music and people who made money from music and record companies. It didn't change the fucking world. It changed the music world a bit, maybe even a lot, but it didn't change the fucking world. That's a little crazy.
Actually, it kind of affected the world, though, because, for example, in the 90s, growing up, every morning when we got up, we didn't turn the news on or cartoons. We put on music videos.
Right. I just want to say, address the hate mail to Jokeman at AOL.com, or just go to jokeland.com and leave a nasty comment over there. And I would appreciate it.
And also, one of the things that happened with MTV was it was the entire race dynamic, because in the beginning, they only played white bands. And so
it always comes back to race with the black guy.
Well, I was going to talk about the Indianapolis race, but you know they didn't cover that at all, so that's a moot point.
I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Grandpa, get out of here. Grandpa, go home.
Where white women at? So,
Darren, do you care to respond to Jackie's put down of your idea?
Hold on, I just want to say that I'm just trying to throw sand in the gears. Of course, it changed everything. I'm just being an asshole for the fun of it.
I know.
You know, I was working in 1969 at a club in Jersey, and somebody said, "Look at that up on the screen." And up on the screen behind the bar, there was a song playing with a video. That's MTV. We're one of the test markets for MTV. It was Haskell, New Jersey, and it was a huge deal. And of course, it was a huge deal. I'm just being stupid.
Jackie's the OG troll.
We came to the right place for being stupid. We act stupid as our brand.
So to continue what I'm saying, you know, early MTV did change the world, and one of the bands or artists most synonymous with early MTV was Van Halen. And I'm not saying that we all wore assless chaps because that's what Dave did.
I wore mine way before that.
Oh, okay.
I inherited mine from my dad.
Yeah.
But ultimately, if you look at what Van Halen represented, and then the bands that would follow a couple of years later, like without Van Halen, there's no Motley Crue, there's no Poison, etc. So the guitar shredder thing largely.
That's
what.
If there's no this, there's no that. If there's no Colombo America.
Well, if there's no Milton Berle, there's no Arnold Palmer. Do you agree with that? If there's no Milton Berle, there's no Arnold Palmer.
Absolutely.
No, if there's no tea and no lemonade, there's no Arnold Palmer.
But Van Halen's original manager was Milton Berle's nephew, Marshall Berle. So without Milton Berle, there's no Van Halen.
That's true.
Now, did you ever see David Lee Roth's cock? I was just wondering if
Is
it
that a
was
yes?
Burlish.
Is your
It
silence
was
a
Are you talking
Burl
to
or
me?
Palmer. I'm talking to anybody. Anybody who
I
ever.
think legitimately, my aunt has. She has the story about how she got to go backstage with Van Halen. She blew them all. So yeah.
Wow.
But she would have had her eyes closed. She didn't necessarily have to see it, right?
Now, Darren could have interviewed her for the book, and then we'd really know how he changed the
Now
world.
I know my book
She was,
is not.
she was
perfect.
one of like
Yeah.
She was one of like 20 or 30 girls that went backstage. So I mean, I doubt he had time to interview that many women.
And every time that Eddie would come, he would spit up blood.
Wow. Ron said something.
Oh,
Write that
geez.
down. Ron said something.
I'm hitting B right now. Okay.
I got an idea. Why not let Darren talk?
Okay, yeah.
Matt, why
Darren.
not let Darren talk?
All right.
Back
good
to you,
idea.
Darren.
Back to you, Darren.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it, but I'm going to throw the praise back at you guys. You know, Minddog, Matt, the Ken Tamplin stuff. Love that. You did great.
Oh, well, you're the only one who
I
loves
would.
that. Because that has gotten me so much fucking hate mail, almost as much as overnight I got a Nazi who's threatening me, not over that Ken Tamplin stuff, but that has gotten the most negative attention and really changed my life for about a month because all the negative energy that was coming my way just for pointing out that. First of all, you guys, Jackie, you don't know what I'm even talking about here. There's a online vocal coach who was accused of lip syncing. He did lip sync at a live show and used backing tracks. But these people who were attacking him and just trying to bring him down, cancel him, a lot of them have their own courses that they're trying to sell. So they have a reason to kind of want to bring this guy down. And a lot of them are basing all their venom on a guy named Phil who does music analysis, but he uses like pitch correction software to prove shit. And I'm like, I have pitch correction software, and then you're putting God status on Phil and his software, and like anything he says is. And I'm like, in a court of law, this doesn't prove the guy's a fucking fraud as a singing coach. It proves that you don't have to go see him if you don't want to see him lip sync, or you don't have to watch his videos if you don't want to see him lip sync. But at the end of the day, you're calling him a fraud, and basically you don't know. You've never taken his course unless you've taken his course. And if you did, there's a proper recourse for that to get you to complain to him, get your money back, or sue him or whatever. But it's gotten out of hand with the online trolling of this guy, where it's cancel culture.
Okay,
No,
Darren,
wait.
see what you did.
Whoa.
See what you
Where
did,
does-
Darren.
I didn't
Where
do
does
it.
the Nazi? Where does
I'm
the
just drinking
Nazi
coffee.
come in?
The Nazi came in
Through the back
overnight.
door.
Where's the Nazi?
On a video. I don't want to say his name. I put out a video about does the Constitution need to be updated. And this guy in the middle of the night last night, this guy was threatening to sick his Nazi friends on me. That's what.
Oh, well, so that has nothing to do with the guy with the lip syncing.
Right, that's
Nothing
what I
to do
said.
with the lip syncing guy.
No, but the
Jesus.
lip syncing thing,
Jesus
I put out a video on him to say, and they thought I was defending him. I'm not defending him. I'm admitting that he lip synced. I said that the evidence they showed is not conducive in a court of law, not conclusive in a court of law to accuse this guy of fraud in selling his online course at all. Came back to, why are you defending him? You must be paid by him and all this stuff. But then, like no exaggeration, 50,000. You're a dick. I hate you. You're a piece of shit. You don't know what you're talking about. You're a fucking idiot. You should close your channel down. All this kind of stuff. Just a world of negativity I brought on.
So, Darren, how did Diamond Davis, Dallas Page, how did he contribute to the book?
So DDP wrote the foreword of the book. He did also do that for my second book. I consider Dallas a friend. He's the most, aside from Jackie, I'm going to call DDP the most approachable celebrity there is. The most responsive, approachable.
Now, who is that? Tell me who you're talking about.
Mr. Ortiz, go ahead.
Yeah, DDP is a professional wrestler from the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. He still even wrestles a little bit today. but he's mostly known for DDP yoga and for being
Tell people what DDP stands for,
for a
because
lot of people.
most people
Diamond
don't know what
Dallas
DDP
Page.
stands for. Right.
Diamond Dallas Page.
But at this point in time, DDP arguably is better known for the yoga because there was a documentary related to it that screened all over. He's written 2 or 3 books, motivational speaking, his acting credits. He's probably been in 30 movies at this point. So there's a lot of people who see him and don't know that he was this Hall of Fame professional wrestler. And he didn't get started into wrestling. I think it was 35 years old was his first real match. So he's a very inspiring dude. And he told a story in the book about when he encountered Dave. I believe it was at the China Club in 85. He Dallas, before he was a wrestler and a celebrity, he managed this guy named Smitty, who was all over early MTV, this competitive eating guy that they used to have down at spring break. And Dave recognized Smitty in a club. That's the story.
Wow.
So what about the bass player from Lit? What did he do in the book?
Bass player from Lit, Kevin Baldus, is a friend who took almost all the photos that are in the middle part of the book. And Kevin knows more about Van Halen than just about anybody. Great guy, great photographer. In fact, I think he did Eddie Van Halen's last photo shoot, which we don't have in the book.
Wow. And it's not Kevin Mazur, Kevin Nix. Is that what you said?
Kevin Baldus.
Oh.
Kevin Baldus,
yeah. Yeah, because Kevin Mazur, who's also a Long Islander, is one of the he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They have a whole exhibit of his work of rock stars and all that stuff. He's a friend, and I'm pretty sure he was very in with Van Halen's inner circle. Another friend who, and I'm curious if they've ever mentioned his name, Bob Moon. Bob Moon, is that a name that would come to mind? He was the head of Van Halen's road crew for almost 20 years. He's a guy I grew up with, but they would mention him from the stage. He was one of these guys that they talked about a lot, party animal. So
sure. One of the things that I encountered in this book is which Van Halen and Dave people are under non-disclosures and which ones can talk to you freely. And it's not this clearly known list. You just have to go with these people and go, hey, can I talk to you about this? And then they ignore you and you go, oh, you're one of the NDA people. Oh, okay. So you never know who's going to.
So is that niggers with Downs attitude? What is that? What's NDA
still
for?
On Dubs.
Are we? Sorry.
Yes.
I was just because I know what NWA is. I was just wondering what NDA was.
I'm sorry. My headphones cut out there I didn't get all the words there, but that's not important. You don't have to repeat it.
Oh, okay. Because I'll repeat it if you want.
No.
I have, for the record, interviewed Arabian Prince from NWA on the Paltrocast. So
wow.
We can talk about NWA. I just don't say what their name stands for because I do not need
to. See, I don't know. I've never seen it in print. Everybody says NWA. I don't know what it stands for. It's like NDA. I don't know what NDA stands for.
I feel like you know exactly what it stands for, you son of a bitch.
What is this you just sent me? I'm trying to make. I see what it is, but I mean, what you try to talk about what you just sent me?
I didn't.
Sammy Hagar must have come on the Stern Show very soon after he joined Van Halen.
Yes.
So that was something I wrote that Howard
they were trying to come up with,
and then he signed it.
And so it came out to be Van Hagar eventually, but that wasn't one of the ones he was thinking about. He came up with every other version of what that might be. The thing
but this
with Alex,
is long before that was even considered. You know?
Yeah. The thing with Alex coming out the other day, he was kind of defending Eddie and the way people talk about him now. And I have another thing that caused negativity in my life was seemed like a defense of Eddie Van Halen, because a lot of people talk about Eddie as a person, a real standoffish and kind of a dick and all this stuff, and whatever that is. What I knew about Eddie, and I'm wondering if you know any of this stuff, that he was really a philanthropist. He when he found out he had cancer, he was in Danvers in Fort Jeff up here while he was undergoing treatment and all that stuff. And I knew the doctor who first diagnosed him. And it was a strange thing. Eddie went to the kid's house, the doctor's house, and this kid was a big fan. And Eddie was showing him the kid. He took the kid's guitar and put the pick in his mouth. And basically, the doctor said, "Wait a minute, what's that?" He goes, "Well, I'm going to finger pick." And he said, "Well, you just put that pick exactly in the area where your tumor started, and the tumor is in the shape of a pick." Turned out Eddie was using titanium picks, metal picks that were covered with titanium, and they basically diagnosed that that's what was causing his cancer, and it kind of saved his life for a little bit when they figured out what the source was, and basically, and then Eddie gave $10 million to cancer researchers.
Well, to rudely interrupt it and bring it all full circle, I think Howard was the only person who directly asked Eddie about that in an interview. So there's that, and the fact that Eddie got his treatment on Eastern Long Island, I think it's Stony Brook. Most people don't realize that. They assume it's Cedars-Sinai in LA. So there's so many things related to Van Halen that come back to Long Island and Long Islanders as much as we think of them as a Pasadena or an LA band.
Yeah, I was at Stony Brook working in a pathology office, and this doctor, I'm not going to mention the doctor name, he came into my office and he showed me a picture of him and Eddie Van Halen standing outside my office door. And I said, "Wait a minute, you just took this picture with Eddie Van Halen standing outside my door, and you waited for him to leave before you came in to show me the picture? You don't get like, knock, hey, I'd like to
introduce under non-disclosure. I mean, let's face it.
Yeah, very cool.
And again, this is the end. This is what the end for NDA. Okay, I got it.
None.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Not the bread that you get it from a great Indian restaurant. NON.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write that down because I've been saying it wrong for years.
Yeah. Now, is there a big because there is this tie Long Island to a lot of these rock bands and stuff. We have the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame here, but the wrestling part of it, I'm curious because that's your other big interest is wrestling, right? Or is that fair to say?
It's one of them, and I kind of zoned in on that for the early chapters of the book because people, when they think of Dave, they think of Diamond Dave, and when you like wrestling, I don't care about the matches. I like the personas. What really happens, the behind the scenes kind of stuff. So you got to go, okay, at what point does Dave drop the character and be a normal David Lee Roth? And so I asked different wrestlers because they can look at characters and different actors, what do they see? And everyone has a different answer to that whole thing, kind of like a comedian. Like they're telling jokes and they're outgoing on stage, but most comics we know are kind of shy when the mic isn't on. I want to look
like Ron?
Thing. Yes, exactly.
Even when the mic is on, it's shy. I don't know.
People wish I'd shut up.
The past 5 minutes is actually the first
that
5 minutes of Ron's set.
What? It was such a what?
That has always been such a that's been such a generality for so long that comedians are quiet or comedians are shy or so they're people. There's the whole gamut of people. Some comics are shy, some are introspective, some are normal people, some are out. The whole thing. Every comic is the fucked up guy sitting in the corner cursing his parents. They're not performer normal, but they're not.
I think you could say that about every musician.
You can't put them in a box.
I think you can with musicians.
That they're all fucked up? Yeah.
Yes. And I say that as a fucked up musician. And yes, I definitely feel like I have. Hey, listen, this is why keeping a band together is so difficult. It's because you put fucked up people in a room together. What?
Did I ever tell you a moment where my band was playing in Lincoln Park, Detroit? And it was a tough neighborhood. It was like 1971 or 2, and motorcycle guys had just discovered LSD. And it was a horrible neighborhood, and we were playing at this bar 5 nights a week, and it was a horror. I mean, it was like being in hell. And we had an organ player that was a prodigy. He was like 20 years old. He could play anything. If he heard it, he could just go and say. He was so amazing, but he was such an asshole, and he was gay, but I don't think he knew it yet. He wound up becoming the first guy that ever got married to another guy in East Lansing, Michigan. It's a whole long story. Dale Kitchenmaster. So he hit me so fucking good. And I have never been a violent guy. I think I got in 2 fights in my entire life. I'm just not that kind of guy. And we were done with the show one night, and we were loading the stuff or whatever we're loading in the parking lot. And this guy would get me so fucking nuts. And at one point, and I've never done this in my life, and he was a kid, and I punched him in the chest. I mean, I punched him in the chest, and I said, why can't I get in a band with some normal musician? The light bulb went off, and I realized because they don't make them. There's no such thing as a normal musician. Yeah. And since then, I realized you just, once you accept that, you know, why is he acting weird? Because he's a fun performer. You know, they're all out of their minds, you know.
Right. I know Steven Sphincter tightened up a little bit when you said he's gay, but he didn't know it yet, because I used that line on him just a couple of days ago. I said, you just don't know it yet. And so I'm sure when he heard, I can
assure you, being at dick level my whole life in the wheelchair, never one time have I looked at a penis and been like, I wonder what that tastes like. That's not a thing. So I can assure you I am.
Because you don't have to wonder. You know.
I don't. That's the thing.
Whoa. I just got a text from Hollywood. They want Darren to star in the Dom DeLuise story.
Oh, that's a good timely reference. That was a good pop culture zinger.
Wow. Have you been told before that you resemble Dom DeLuise a little bit?
Oh yeah, all the time.
I think Ron from Meathead from Rob Reiner, right? Isn't that the one who played Meathead? That's right, because even the voice sounds similar to his.
Oh yeah, I think more Dom DeLuise though, even more than Dom DeLuise's kids.
Ron is speaking.
I was going to say, but let's be fair. I mean, Dom DeLuise and Eddie Van Halen both look the same currently.
I didn't do it.
They went on that diet.
Yeah.
Die.
I have to say goodbye to Gov's Comedy Network at this moment because Tony is preparing to do his show. For some reason, we have to get off 15 minutes before he starts his show, but we're doing that right now. So,
well, they can do that sound check, and also they got to make. They have a writer for Jackie because Jackie's going to be there.
I just want to say, stay tuned for Knock 'em Dead Comedy, where the guest on the featured guest on Knock 'em Dead Comedy is also one of the featured guests here this morning. So enjoy that. And now they're gone. Okay, you guys want to say something bad about governors? They're off. We could.
I think Jeannie wants to say the N word about 30 times.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, see, y'all think I like to say nigger. I don't like to say nigger. Nigger is one of those words that has a place in society. Not everybody gets to say nigger. And I think that, okay, I won't say nigger anymore. No more niggers. No more niggers.
Nigger, please.
Everybody happy? No more niggers.
Matt, no. Well, it's been nice. It's been nice. He's been doing this show up until today. So
yeah.
Wait a minute, Matt. Here's your card. I forgot to send.
Listen, I already have the Nazis come to get me. It's not
anymore. Now they're inviting you to their cookout.
I'm probably not gonna live much longer anyway. They're coming to get me. So,
Matt, I have
Tony said we don't have
cards
to
here.
stop 15 minutes early anymore.
Matt, this is your nigger card. This is your nigger card. This is your coon card and your jigaboo card. I'm putting them all in the mail so that you're fine. Okay.
All right. Hold on. GD, Jesus. I need the coon card because I'm playing the new South Park game and the main character is Coon Man and all of his accessories are like the Coon Mobile and all of that. So I need that card, please.
Wow.
I'll send you one of those also. Yeah. So
Darren, you are on Long Island, right? Your life are here. Have you
I've lived elsewhere.
Wait, we're not gonna talk about how much Eddie Van Halen loves saying the N-word. We're not gonna talk about
This is news to me.
Eddie Van Halen dealt with so much racism in his life that I'm sure he was self-deprecating to an extent, because I don't think people realize that he was half Indonesian and he was bullied as a kid because of that. But to answer Long Island, I grew up in Belmore. I live in Long Beach, but I spent my time living in New York City, LA, Tokyo, all over the place.
So last week I was performing in Long Beach. You weren't there. And Saturday night, Jackie's going to be in Belmore. Are you going to be there?
Where do you perform in Long Beach, or did I miss sarcasm?
Margarita's Cafe.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? So you were on the stage in the corner there by like that fish tank and all that.
It's such a weird fucking room, man.
You played?
Wait a minute, the stage is next to a fish tank?
What was that?
The stage is next to a fish tank?
Yes.
It's to cover the old guy smell.
With fish.
I don't know.
Sound travels further in water than it does in the air. And if you're next to a fish tank and they have fish, they are like going to go deaf. That's what I'm saying.
Wow. They'd probably be better off being deaf.
But
the fish would be better off.
I like the food at Margaritas. Next time you're there, I will go there. And Jackie's playing in Belmore at the Brokerage Governor's place
tomorrow night. Yes,
awesome.
And I might be locked out, which would be a good thing for you to write a book about. Just cover me not being able to get in, and that will be a whole interesting book about me taking a fit. What do you mean I can't get in?
Did you do something wrong that Gary Smith back in the day and you're permanently banned?
Yes. Yeah.
Gary Smith. Whoa.
Yeah. So
Darren, that's back there. I remember back when it was Corky's Music Box. Remember Corky's Music Box?
No.
It's like Otto Music Box was Gary Smith bought it.
It's like you're being Otto and George right now. Japanese Godzilla.
I'm sorry.
I used to go see Otto and George the first Wednesday of every month at the Brokerage. I miss Otto and George with Chips Cooney. I love that show.
Are you familiar with what we were talking about earlier? The comedy's Dirtiest Dozen, because Otto and George is featured in that, along with Jackie.
Oh yeah, and for sure.
Yeah. Is comedy a thing? One of your big things? Do you follow comedy? Because we talked about the rock scene and the wrestling scene. There is some kind of tie into some comedian like Dice and people like that who are bigger than life characters, like almost wrestling characters, right?
For sure. Yeah, I grew up in Belmore, where the Brokerage, now Governor's 2 or whatever it's called, is. And when I was underage, Gary used to let me go there, and Jimmy Finn used to let me go to Governor's Levittown underage, because I was reviewing the shows under an old friend of Jackie's, John Blenn, who gave me my start.
I remember John Blenn used to be the. I don't know if he was
I love John.
Editorial chief over there, but Good Times Magazine, right? Was the first thing he did. And I remember I had a studio. He used to come. I was advertising, and so I got a lot of like write-ups, like articles written about me. John Blenn was a good guy. Is he still active?
John's been around a long time. He's a great character.
Yeah.
He's very active. He's a great character. Great character.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tony.
Yeah, too late now. Like, you don't have to get a vasectomy. Fuck.
Can you put it back?
Well, I guess we could use it as bacon, bacon substitute now. Whatever. So now this is not your only book, though, right? I have the link to the Amazon where you can buy the DLR book, but you've written several books. Are you a podcaster? Or, I mean, your main interest, podcasting? Is it being an author? What is your main thing? What's your thing?
I'm a licensed private investigator who tapes interviews 5-6 days a week. In fact, I have to get on another one in about 8 minutes. And then I syndicate that into a weekly series called the Paltrocast with Darren Paltrowitz, which airs on 150 plus stations. And then I still work a little bit in the entertainment industry, consulting for artist management. So when people go, what do you do? It's like, I don't know. I work.
So,
I'm available.
As an investigator, do you have like a set fee, or is like a sliding scale? What's your fee? And can you find my career is what I really want to know.
My fee depends on the scope of what's needed, the number of hours, are there fees, etc.
I know where your career is. It's buried right under Jimmy Hoffa.
Possibly.
Yeah.
So
if you're looking for my career, it could cost like more than my career's worth.
Okay.
I'm interested though in this investigation thing. Is it like you do matrimonial stuff, like your husband checking in at the the Hollywood Motor Lodge in wherever that is, West Babylon or whatever? You do it.
Motor Lodge. I try not to, because that's the lowest form of the stuff. You really want to do like the higher net kind of stuff, like motor vehicle accidents and discrimination kind of stuff. But if it's interesting enough, I'll work on it.
Wow. How long you been doing that?
Got into that field 7-8 years ago. A neighbor who is a PI kind of saw my skill set as a writer, researcher, editor, and went, I think you can do this. Here's a demo assignment that stinks. And it's the kind of thing where they give you the grunt work, and then if you keep coming back, you're good enough, and they keep giving you more work.
I did a little bit of that when I was a kid. Now, when I'm talking about before VHS cameras, video cameras, and all that kind of stuff, and we would basically take film cameras with us, and all that kind of stuff, which was really awkward to try to conceal.
What's film?
Like 8mm film.
I heard
yeah. Oh, did Mr. Freeze say something? It looked like he said
I just
something.
asked what film is.
I know. I knew I just wanted to insult you by calling you Mr. Freeze.
Oh.
What happened?
Because when you said Mr. Freeze, I thought you were talking about Ron, because Ron doesn't usually move or talk, and so.
No. Can I hire you to find out what happened to Jackie?
I mean, I can easily figure that one out, but sure, you can. If it's worthwhile work, then I can.
He went to do Tony's show. That's where he's on his way. So now in the writing, so you're that's got to take up a lot of time. Do you have a lot of time left for writing books? Because writing this book, I'm sure that writing the book, like the DLR book, took a significant life investment, time investment, right?
Hardest project I've ever worked on was that book.
Because was it because of the NDAs, or just
that was part of it for research. Part of it, like conforming to what a publisher is asking for or requiring. Part of it that you have to really hustle yourself, because book publishers do almost nothing except make the book and maybe distribute it or get it online listings. It's kind of up to you to get the word out that you have a book. So
do they own comedy clubs as well?
I would say comedy clubs are far more advanced than book publishers. The number of press releases my publisher sent out since my book has come out, 0. The number of reviews my publisher has given me, 0. I had to do everything myself. So
this is the publishing world has changed, and I you're better off self-publishing, because going with the traditional publishing, they're not going to do anything for you anyway. You're still going to have to do all the work. You might as well take all the profit.
It was a nice advance. It was some good clout to be able to see, hey, what does a publisher do? It was a learning experience. But if I do another book, very, very slim odds it's through a publisher again.
Right. And is Dave putting out any word about the book?
No, I've never gotten one email back from Team Dave, and I'm going directly at his people and everything. So that's why I did just talk to everybody who ever worked with him, and they said not nice things about him, because that's Dave.
Wow. Now I told the story earlier on, and I don't know if it's true, but I heard him talk about it on Rogan's podcast, that he was a volunteer paramedic EMT while he was still in Van Halen, right? So he's still a star, one of the biggest rock stars in the world, and people were waking up from heart attacks in the back of an ambulance and seeing David Lee Roth. Is that a true story as far as you can?
That's not only true, but I interviewed his EMT instructor, Linda, who I still talk with, for the book and for the podcast and all that kind of stuff. So she talks a bit about Dave and what it was like teaching Dave EMT stuff.
Wow, that is so wild, man. I just can't imagine that. Like, you know,
Why was he doing that?
Oh my God, Jackie's back.
Why was he doing that?
It was part of fulfillment.
Why was he doing that?
It was partially a fulfillment to his father, who was an ophthalmologist, like wanted to make his dad proud in some form. And it was part that he needed like something to do, because that was a couple of years before he rejoined Van Halen, and he kept up his license a little bit into the Van Halen reunion, but he needed a tiny bit of structure, and it seemed like a good idea. So when Dave says, I'm going to do something, he does it. Does he finish it? No, but he starts it. So in that era, he also got his helicopter pilot's license.
wow. Yeah, that's that. You know, Bill Burr.
It's a euphemism for him doing a whirly bird when he got out the shower with the towel. So he actually was a real copter pilot. I did not realize that.
Wow, I've never heard him talk about being a helicopter pilot. Bill Burr, I remember him being asked about him being a helicopter pilot. He took that as an offense. Like, why would you ask me about that? Like, what the fuck? A lot of celebrities, big time, high profile people into flying helicopters. It's a difficult thing.
Now, Darren, you have to leave in a few minutes, so you want to tell
yeah,
people
unfortunately,
about where to get your book?
All right.
I have to jump to something. I'd love to be on again or have all of you on my show sometime. But DLR book, the Paltrocast with Darren Paltrowitz. It's on YouTube and everywhere else. And if you ever need a PI, reach out. I can help.
All right. Well, thanks for that. I probably am going to need a PI to help me track down these Nazis that are coming to get me. Anyway, thanks for being on the program this morning.
Nice
and you are definitely
Darren.
welcome back.
Thank you for the nice words.
Thank you all for having me,
nice
Jackie.
words,
thank
Darren.
you for the decades of great comedy. Have a wonderful day, and thank you, governors and Gary Smith and everybody.
Just one last thing before you go. Paltrocast, when does it come out? Is it like a steady day every week, or what are you doing?
Every day there's new content, but we put out at least one full-length show a week.
Okay. Have a great day. Thanks for being here, man.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Bye.
Darren Paltrowitz. Now, sorry if that was a little bit, I don't know, embarrassing that the guy has interviewed you and you were like, I don't really. I think he looks familiar. What did you interview me about?
I said it was a month ago. It wasn't. It was many months ago. It was many months ago when I was doing a real press at the same time. So, in all fairness to me, but he's a very nice guy. I remembered him eventually.
Yeah.
You know.
I think it was
sit in a room with somebody. It's a different thing. Interviews, it's not personal.
Yeah. I think it was probably around the time you were doing the Q&A stuff, right? You were going like the Long Island Hall of Fame stuff, or maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, so yeah, I guess that's
that place is weird. That place, they just called and they said to me, it's the 20th anniversary of the Long Island Music and Entertainment Hall of Fame, which the first suggestion I made to them is I really think you should make the name a little bit longer. But they didn't agree. But it's the Long Island Music and Entertainment Hall of Fame. They said they have the 20th anniversary on some weekend, and all day they're having people perform from 10 in the morning till 7 o'clock at night. Everybody's doing it different. If I wanted to come and do a set, and I said thanks, but no thanks. Mention that, of course, it's for kids and whoever. I'm going to go there and do my dirty jokes, but I'm not in the Hall of. Why would they ask me to do that if I'm not they've never even suggested putting me in there? I mean, I'm flattered they would ask me to do that, but why would they ask me to do that?
You definitely should be in there. I have nominated a few people who. Yeah, I have nominated a few people who should be in there. You should definitely be in there. I mean, there is, listen, on Long Island, not to blow smoke, but you are an iconic figure in Long Island comedy for the last 40 years or whatever, however long it's been. So I think
I've never done anything especially big. But just on the from oversaturation, I belong
right
there,
Yeah, and you know what? Everybody knows
45 years.
Right. Everybody knows the various things you've been involved in, but I don't know anybody who doesn't on Long Island who's not aware of the joke line 922 wine 516-922 wine. I mean, just that alone, and we talked about Good Times Magazine. That was, for whatever it was, everybody on Long Island read that magazine. If you could not go out to entertainment and not be exposed to that Good Times magazine, where you had a big ad in there for 922 wine going back to, I guess, 1980 or something around there. So everybody knew. They show you a picture in there with the phone.
And Newsday, every week in Newsday was the cartoon with me with the phone with 922 wine in the ad for governors. And that's from 1981 on. No, that's so.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do?
I'm not going to do anything. I did nominate you for that. I've nominated several people for it, and I never hear back on if they follow up on these nominations. Kevin Mazur, who I mentioned before, who is like a rock star of a photographer. I mean, he's photographed, and people like Paul McCartney ask for him when they're doing photo shoots. I mean, that's an.
I've known Kevin for like 30 or 35 years, and he was a rock star 35 years ago. Everybody loved him and had him at everything. Everything we did, he was there.
Ralphie, Ralphie got him started. Ralphie bought him his first camera and his first Led Zeppelin tickets and said, "Here, go take pictures of Led Zeppelin tonight." And this way, he was still a kid. He was 14 years old.
Where the hell is Ralphie?
He's hiding.
Where is Ralphie?
He's doing he's opening a pizzeria up in somewhere upstate. That's where he is today. I don't know. I don't want to say any more than that.
He's a character.
Yeah, he totally is. He's opening it with the son of Luca Brasi, Lenny Montana from The Godfather. These guys wouldn't even know.
Where upstate?
I think he said Scarsdale. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't pay attention.
Really upstate.
No, well, for me it is. For me, you are upstate. Oyster Bay is upstate for me.
All right.
That's true. All right.
Do you know
I guess we.
Who Lou Martini Jr. is? The actor.
What was that? You're breaking up.
Do you know Lou Martini Jr.?
Yeah.
He's an actor, and he's been around a while. His father was going to play Luca Brasi, and he died of a heart attack the day before and so they had to get another guy. And meanwhile, the guy that played Luca Brasi, I can't imagine anybody else playing that role. You know what I mean?
I knew him
they constructed him for the role.
Right, I knew him very well. Lenny Montana. I grew up across the street from him. My best friend moved out, and they moved in, and he was a wrestler under Lenny Montana. That's not his real name, but Lenny Montana was his wrestling name. He was a bodyguard for Joe Colombo. And that's what Francis Ford Coppola said. Well, who are we going to get to play this part? What about the big guy over there? The big guy over there was Lenny. He was basically Joe Colombo's bodyguard, and that's how he got in the movie. Yeah, exactly. That story you just told.
Wow.
Yeah. So many of
that's as iconic roles they have.
Yeah, but these guys, all three of them, never seen The Godfather, or they got bored with it in the first 20 minutes or something.
I've seen parts of it, okay? It's not like I haven't seen any of it. I've seen parts of it.
I just got Max, and I plan on watching it this weekend.
All right. And then watch The Offer on Paramount. I think it's Paramount.
Then after that, you can watch Lord of the Rings, then hang yourself in your bathroom because your family.
I won't watch Lord of the Rings. There's too much walking in it.
Now, do you have to, when you hang yourself, does it have to be in the bathroom?
Well, it makes a better statement.
I was going to say, if you love your loved ones, you don't want to leave too big of a mess. You do it in a place they can turn it off.
Since
the garage.
Since we're talking about old movies, have you seen the movie An Officer and a Gentleman?
Yes.
It has one of the funniest suicides in a movie in it when he comes to the hotel room. He
What?
finds him.
I refresh my memory. I
naked.
remember there was a suicide, and I remember who it was. But what happened? What made it funny?
Well, it made it funny to me because he comes in this Richard Gere, gets into the hotel room and he busts open. The friend is hanging naked from the shower.
That's right.
And Richard Gere's like, "Ah!" Oh my God, it makes me laugh to this day.
Weird movie. Richard Gere, Lou Gossett Jr., and that dude.
Can I just say something, Matt?
Yeah.
Fucking Ron. I've been on this show 20 times, and Ron has never said a word, and finally he's piping up suicide.
He's Ron is a quirky guy. Sometimes he talks, and he says some really wild and offensive things that you would think.
That movie also, it is a great. I mean, there is some great misogyny in it, and there's great like this sister trying to fuck Richard Gere like at the table, and the mom is. I mean, there's a lot of layers in that movie.
Yeah,
I don't remember all of that movie.
It's still one of the best comedies to me.
Is that your showbiz report for today? I mean, we were going to do showbiz, we didn't, but I mean that qualifies, I guess. Everybody go out and rent.
I think that was the movie that convinced people that Deborah Winger was hot.
Why, you don't think she was hot?
I don't think that she was worth saving. No.
Get off.
I don't know. I think by the looks of her in that movie, she is like, yeah, you'd want her because she'd be like, you know what? I'm gonna just deep throat you, and I'm gonna be able to put your balls in my mouth at the same time. That's a lady.
Did that change your mind on whether she's hot? What he just said?
I couldn't hear because I was in timeout.
You were in purgatory. You want to repeat that, Ron, or no? It's not worth it. He was just saying something that made her a little more appealing in the eyes of the general public. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, she had a bag. You put a bag over her face? Is that it? I missed the story. I don't know what.
He's saying how talented. She's very talented.
Do you want to do showbiz? I do have some showbiz shit.
Yeah, we could do showbiz. Jackie, you want to hang around? I know you got to go do Tony's. We're going to end this after a short bit anyway, but Ron has a bit here. You're going to hear Ron talk if you hang around. I would hang around for it. Would you like to? Yes.
All right, I'll hang around. Listen, you guys should watch the show Disclaimer.
Yeah,
I think it's on Apple Plus, but it is.
I think we will.
Have you watched it?
No.
I'm gonna have Apple Plus for like one more day.
Great sex stuff.
Wow.
I'm gonna have Apple Plus for one more day.
The girl that plays the young Kate Blanchett is so hot. She is just so hot, and it's so sexy. It's the sexiest thing I've seen on TV yet, I think.
Wow, and she
seduces the young guy.
Yeah. All right, Ron, you ready? You ready, Ron?
And now, bringing you the latest in entertainment news from Hollywood, New York, and East Bumfuck, Montana. Here's our chief entertainment correspondent, Ron Kane. Ladies and gentlemen, it's showbiz.
Showbiz. Why am I so white? I'm very white. I gotta unwhite myself. Yeah.
Yeah, it's showbiz, everybody. It is Friday, so start drinking now, man. So the first story here is Adam Ray is bringing Dr. Phil to Netflix. If you're not familiar, Adam Ray does an impression of Dr. Phil. He's been doing live shows, I guess, almost close to a year now, and he's really built it up to something. So apparently now he's taking the show to Netflix for a special live event.
I can't, like a whole full hour or
right, an hour and a half, 2 hours.
The Dr. Phil live shows that he does, which by the way, I'm a huge Adam Ray fan, huge Dr. Phil parody fan that he does. His shows are about an hour and a half long on YouTube anyway. I mean,
wow, I've seen him like for 3 minutes, and it gets old to me. I don't know. I mean, I can only watch somebody do an impression or a skit like for a few minutes before I get bored with it.
Good.
Yeah, some of the shows have been pretty solid. The biggest question I have, I think, especially as a performer, do you think him doing this on Netflix and having Dr. Phil kills it?
I don't know.
No, I mean going forward, like the precipice will be.
I got a question.
Show, but then after,
I got a question. Why don't they put their heads together and make an ass out of themselves?
Yeah.
Well,
or tits.
I feel like yes, this is going to be the precipice of the Dr. Phil thing, but he's already said he wasn't going to live on that forever anyway. I mean, he does a lot of characters anyway, so.
Didn't they do something together on Kill Tony? Or weren't they together battling?
Dr. Phil sent a video to Adam Ray / Dr. Phil when he was inducted into the Kill Tony Hall of Fame or as guest of the year or whatever, and sent him a video.
Wow. All right. Are we moving on? Or is this 100 pounds?
Yep. So this is Jelly Roll, and apparently he's lost 100 pounds.
And you can't even tell.
Yeah,
I mean
that baby blood does wonders.
Before and after, it's like fat then and fat now. I mean, I'm sorry, Jelly, Mr. Roll.
Well, you can see it in the face because the tattoos were starting to run.
Oh,
guys, be nice. He already quit X.
Why should I be nice? The man tried to steal my fucking name.
Yeah.
All right. This is Roman Polanski. He's not raping, only vaping now because apparently this case was settled over the summer. Apparently, it's been a civil lawsuit for a while. It has been settled.
1969, right? That was is that the case you're talking about? The 13-year-old girl,
1973.
Oh. Still, man. I mean, I'm surprised he's still alive. He's got no more raping anyway. He's 90 years old. Who the fuck is he gonna rape?
Yeah, so he'll finally be able to move on from this, I guess. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting that it finally got settled.
Wow. All right.
Jesus Christmas.
Yeah. So this is Hugh Jack. The guy on the right, he is married to this lady currently, but she's divorcing him for Hugh Jackman because the old Jackman is single. He's going through a divorce with his 68-year-old wife. He wants some younger trim right now. She's 46. He's 56. So
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah. So Jackman's going to be doing that between those thighs. These two met on, they did The Music Man together on Broadway. So I guess yeah.
Gary, Indiana, right? How far, you guys don't even know Gary, Indiana.
76 bones that the
No, it was great. I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that on Broadway. It's great. Unbelievable.
There's trouble in River City. It starts with T that runs with P and that stands for cool. Peck a little, talk a little, peck a little, talk a little, peck, talk, cheap, talk a lot, peck a little more.
Yeah, overall, I have a fundamental issue problem with musicals. It's like, just fucking talk. I don't want to hear you sing. Just fucking talk.
Same, dude. In elementary school, I had in elementary and middle school, even high school, I had a weird phobia of spontaneous song and dance, and it had to do with between musicals and flash mobs. I had this because I got caught in one in 8th grade, and I was at the mall, and the entire high school showed up and did a flash mob. They all were pretending to eat, and I ended up in the fetal position on the floor because it just freaked me out. There's something about it. It's not natural. Stop it. Fuck yourself.
Wow.
It's great.
Musicals will not turn you gay. I just want to put that out there.
I don't mind musicals. We enjoy music. The Greatest Showman, The Book of Mormon, all great musicals and Broadway shows. They're great. I love them, but can't do spontaneous fun.
Yeah, and Matt is right. Musicals don't make you gay because Matt is clearly bisexual. And
right?
So,
you go in gay if you're buying tickets. That was exactly my point.
So this is Liam Neeson. he has said that he's thinking about retiring from action movies at the age. He's 72 currently. And
That's all 72. I would have thought he was older than that. But here's the thing. There's a guy on Twitter called Liam Neeson, and people always think that he's Liam Neeson, the actor, and they always say threatening to boycott his movies. And I'm wondering if that has any I didn't hear him say he was retiring from action movies. I heard him saying he was retiring completely, like not doing any acting anymore. And I felt like, I wonder if this is any way due to backlash from boycotts he's getting from this guy who's faking his name on Twitter.
Well, there has been talks that he was supposed. I think he's still supposed to. He's supposed to star in the reboot of the Naked Gun movies, which Seth MacFarlane is doing.
Wow.
So he's going to take over Leslie Nielsen's character.
Wasn't he? He was in some. I'm not. I hate to talk out of school here if I'm saying stuff that's wrong, but I think he was in some, like, it was not like supposed to be a pornographic movie, but it was a pedophilia movie. I think it was about like him. I think Melanie Griffith was in the movie too. If I have this correct, Melanie Griffith was playing the mother of a young girl that he ends up having a child that he ends up having a relationship with in the movie, and it was like banned because it was like supposedly promoting pedophilia or something.
That movie has been repurposed and re-edited as the Van Halen story.
All right, I could be wrong. I might have just made all that stuff up. I don't know. All right.
So this is the big movie that's opening this weekend, Venom: The Last Dance. It's supposed to be the third and final Venom movie with Thomas Hardy in the role. So yeah, this is the big stink this weekend.
I feel so out of touch when you bring this shit up. I've never heard of Venom 1. This is the last one of something that's been a franchise, I guess. How long has it been around? This is news.
Venom's been around since the late 80s, early 90s.
I'm so fucking old.
But the movie franchise,
exactly.
Yeah, the movie franchise, I think, is only probably like 5 or 6 years old. They've been cranking these out the past few years.
I'm glad Jackie's here.
Who's going to see this shit? Who's going to see this shit? Like teenagers?
Me.
Or
Jeez.
grandparents? Who?
Teenagers in wheelchairs.
Yes. Yeah, it's people Steven's age. This is it's a like action comedy, so it will probably do okay this weekend.
Oh, speaking of action comedies, before we move on, Steven, you replied to that guy who said there have been no funny comedies coming out. Did he ever get back to you about? You gave him a list of funny movies.
He never responded to my comments, likes, nothing.
Wow. All right, we can move on.
Okay.
Hey, Matt.
Yes.
Matt, my computer is just about to die. I got it plugged into the wall, but it's still dying. So when my computer dies out, goodbye. Make sure you give me some plugs, and I'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, brokerage tomorrow night. I'll let you go right now because this is just it's just gonna get worse from here on in. Go plug your thing in and go. We'll see you at Tony's in a little bit. So, all right.
All right. Thanks, fellas.
See ya.
Bye.
Jackie the Jokeman Martling at brokerage tomorrow night. Unlike Frankie, the driving NASCAR gay guy.
Yeah, this is Frankie Muniz from Malcolm in the Middle.
Wow.
He is now officially a full-time NASCAR driver.
Yep.
He's like 36. This is something that he's always been interested in. He's driven trucks. He's done this for a number of years now, but now he is a official NASCAR driver. He has the team and everything.
Yep, he makes his debut. He makes his debut in the Craftsman Truck Series next year.
I remember, and now I'm at where the Alzheimer's dementia stuff can be confusing. But I can swear I read an article like right after that movie went off the air, and that show Malcolm in the Middle went off the air, that he had started NASCAR driving then.
Yes.
It's been a long time in the coming,
Yep.
but why does it take so long? Is what
there's only 99 numbers, right? There's only 99 cars. Right?
When you're not if you're not raised in it or don't have a shoe in, you have to basically start at the local level and start with like, you know, not necessarily go-karts, but you start with like, you start with cheap. No, not, yeah, you go to local tracks, you start with cheaper stock cars and you work your way up. And he's just been really successful at everything he's driven. He's really talented on the track. I've been watching him for about 4 years now. I'm excited to see what he does in the big league.
So you're a NASCAR fan, or you're a race fan, a racing cars fan? How do we let him on the show, being one of these guys who loves fucking watching cars go around in circles?
Not just circles. I like road courses. I like drag racing. I like all of it, man.
Well, Matt, it makes sense. Matt, it makes sense. He likes racing and you like car wrecks. It's a match made in heaven.
I mean, you did have a Dom DeLuise impersonator who wrote a Van Halen book on today. So, I mean, that's
true. That's true.
Yeah.
Now, Dom DeLuise, while we're on show business, he had like kind of I don't know if they were rumors, but obviously he was kind of lighting the loafers to begin with, even though he was a heavy guy. But there were that he had like some major kink stuff going on with him. So,
I loved his character in Blazing Saddles for the end, and I think that's to me is Dom DeLuise, the way he acted in Blazing Saddles.
Mm-hmm. All right, we can move on from Frankie to NASCAR driver.
Okay. All right. So Sebastian Maniscalco, he is bringing his next special to Hulu.
No, thank you.
Is being added to Hilarious.
So this is an advertisement for anybody who does not want to subscribe to Hulu. This is your perfect excuse not to. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm just saying Hulu's added him now, another big comic. So they've got him loaded up, Bill Burr, and Nate Bargatze, I believe, or whoever.
Yeah.
So it's
Bill Burr. I like. I would pay to see Bill Burr's special. Are you a fan of Sebastian? You think he's good?
No, not in particular. I don't think he's unfunny. I don't know. I'm not really a fan of his style.
It surprises me that he can sell out Madison Square Garden 4 nights in a row. Sell out.
No, he's like, isn't he? He's from like New York and all that, right? Like,
no,
isn't he?
It's
like,
Chicago. It's Chicago. If you can't tell the difference between a Chicago Guinea and a New York Guinea, what are you doing on my show? You fucking Alabama, Indiana.
Wow, you look the same to me. My bad. Listen, I didn't
learn your wops.
All right. The only wop I know is that wet ass pussy.
All right.
Anyway, back to you, Ron.
Yeah. So this is Bruce Springsteen. So premiering today on Disney Plus, the Road Diary of Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. So if you're interested in that documentary drops today on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. Now, is there a Disney without the plus?
No.
Disney used to be at one time there was Disney Plus, and now it's all plus.
Well,
what?
Well,
this
now
is
it's
Minddog Plus.
It's Disney Plus, and now you get some Hulu and National Geographic with it now.
Yeah, because of all those fucking mergers now. Like Disney Plus is like it's horrible.
Yeah.
Wow.
They also own ESPN now, right?
Yeah, they've had now for a while.
I am pointing at your heart, you marshmallow. I'm just wondering, the prompt must have been a guy who looks like a marshmallow holding his heart while some chick is squatting to shit while pointing at his heart.
That's my wife. That's my wife fixing my heart when she met me. Can't you see the resemblance?
It does kind of look like you. Definitely. Stephen Ortiz with a fake heart.
Yeah, so that's showbiz, everybody.
Wow.
Enjoy the suffering and enjoy your weekend.
So, Ron, what was the prompt for that? I mean,
I got no idea. That was so many AI pictures ago.
Stephen Ortiz. The prompt was Stephen Ortiz holding a fake heart while his wife is squatting to shit in front of him.
I almost forgot. I have one other part of showbiz. I recently attended a Scientology meeting, and I was able to get an outtake from the newest Scientology meeting.
Tommy.
So I ordered a hamburger, but get this. My waiter brought it to me on a plate. When my butter knife penetrated his abdomen, I realized I may have gone too far, but that's life, and as he laid dying on the floor, screaming, yes, the screaming was too much. Thankfully, I had my headphones with me.
I just...
Jesus Christ, Tom Cruise. What the hell, man?
When you're writing this stuff for Tom to say, is this all stream of consciousness, or do you put a lot of thought into it? Because when I sat down with these celebrities and tried to figure out what to make them say that might be, I mean, I struggle with that. Do you? Is it you just blurt it right out, or do you sit there and kind of contemplate and put a lot of thought to it?
A lot of it's like stream of consciousness. Like I could just be in the app, then all of a sudden I'll have a thought of like, wouldn't it be funny if Tom Cruise murdered somebody with a butter knife and just sat there?
Yeah.
It just seemed like, yeah, this is a typical Tuesday for me.
It definitely would be funny. I would laugh at that, watching Tom Cruise kill a waiter with a butter.
Sometimes Ron is just transcribing dialogue between him and his wife that they're having over dinner.
Yeah. Now, like when I do like Trump and Biden together, I'll sit there with the Parrot app, and I will sit there and have I'll have to do that in just like one session, because I got to sit there and I have the conversation in my head, like, how would this go between these two?
No, you don't even have Pushpatak near you, so I'm just. Are you a stoner like me? I mean, are you stoned when you're doing this, or are you completely sober?
I smoke a little, but I don't get like stoned.
I'm butthead. No, I am definitely Cheech and Chong together. I'm both. Yeah.
What I like what I like about weed, it slows down that train that's in my head, so it allows me to play in the madness. So that's quite why I like it.
That's the reason I smoke before I go on stage, is because it slows it down. Because I can turn my 15-minute set into 5 minutes if I try, and
so
it's
let me ask you.
I can
we get your point.
But
are you picky about like sativa, indica? Because when I go to Pushpatak, they have focus, they have relaxation, pain, calm, all the stuff, and I always go with the sativa because it's focus. Do you pick something like indica to calm you down? I mean, and do you put any weight? Do you believe in that shit? Is basically it's a question.
Yeah, I have indica for at home for if I'm just trying to relax, play games, or write. And then, for example, if I'm going to go on stage, I'll do a hybrid because I need it to slow down, but I need my energy. Gives me a good balance. Where
maybe give your mic a little sativa for focus, because it's been in and out this whole show, kind of like me on your mom. Oh, I'm sorry.
My bad though. Sorry guys.
But we're over time. But I want to ask you guys: have you seen the Ben Shapiro stuff?
No.
Oh.
No.
That's all I gotta say. Oh,
are we in for a doozy on Monday? Are we in for a doozy on Monday?
Let me just say this. I'm not a Shapiro fan. I want to give him props because he sat down in the middle of a room. He's got a table there, and he's got all these college and very well educated people who don't like him. People who hate him a lot more than I ever hated him, coming up to debate him one-on-one. It's like a clock, like a chess clock. They have like 5 minutes to kind of emasculate Ben Shapiro. And listen, he's a short little fucking twink of a man. He's easy to fucking intimidate in person. Like that doesn't just have the mic in front of him and but there's this clip. And all these clips there's separate clips on Twitter, and he was trending, and people just go in there and just like fucking embarrassing him. But one was a transgender man who is he looked big and bulky and manly, and he sat down and he said, men can't get pregnant, and he said, I got a vagina. And it was basically it was a thing to behold. You got to watch the clip. I could share it, but I don't want to. We're over time already. But just wondering if you guys seen any of that. If you haven't, I would suggest go. It's some of the most entertaining stuff I've seen on the internet in a very long time. Especially if you don't like Ben Shapiro, like I don't like Ben Shapiro, just to watch this. And there's several of them, young people who very smart and educated, just having their way with them. But again, I'm giving him props for sitting there, because if that were me, I would have figured out that this is a bad idea, 2 or 3 of them in. But there's like 60 or 70 of them, and they're all there to give him a verbal beating. And just a couple of them in, it's just like, man, I would have just said, nah, forget, what was I thinking? Why would you want to bring this upon yourself? And he stayed for all of them. So I got to give him some credit for that, because I don't think I would. I would have fucking pulled out of there like I did with Steven's mom.
Hey, speaking
what
of
are you guys looking it up?
mom,
GD, what are you looking it up?
No, I was reading something in the chats. I was trying to catch up with the chats.
What's going on in the chats?
No, nothing's really going on. That's all I was trying to find out something was, because I just saw Evil had posted like 9 comments in a row, and I was trying to, and then the last one was LOL. So I was trying to what the previous 6 or 7 comments were.
What is this D? I don't know what the hell. Oh, we're on Darren's Paltrocast. I didn't know. I didn't know we were being shared there. Okay. Ian should. Don't you agree that Ian should make an appearance on this program once? Because nobody's ever seen. I see him on Twitter. I see him here, but we've never really seen Ian. Don't you think he should pop in sometime?
If he so desired, sure. I'd welcome him.
No,
I don't know Ian really.
Not if he so desires. If we dare him enough to do it.
I don't really know Ian, but something tells me if he was like a neighbor, that we'd probably get along.
You said neighbor?
Neighbor, like you live nearby.
Because I don't know. Every time you say a word that starts with N, I'm like, what do you say? May him.
I'm sorry. If he lived near me, we would probably visit each other's
that's
houses.
Better. Near is an N word.
Yeah, guys, and those of you watching, if you have nothing to do afterwards and you're bored, head over to twitch.tv/thesitcom. I'll be
nobody's that bored. No, nobody's that
new
bored.
Black Ops 6, which launches today.
The sheriff isn't near.
All right,
the sheriff isn't near.
We got to get going, but I want to say that Steven's got a GoFundMe. He's back on Facebook, but his GoFundMe is here, so you can go there and donate to his little grift that he's got going on. I think it's $60 Bibles, $495 sneakers, and a van. Something.
And ankle bracelets. He has ankle bracelets for people who want to be under house arrest.
And Ron will be appearing at the gay house of whatever,
Horrors.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Gay house of horrors, haunted house in Lithicum.
Now, Saturday, I'll be at Max's Tap House in Fells Point, Maryland, for a show. Show starts at 7:00.
How far is that from Westminster?
I don't know, an hour? Maybe. Yeah, an hour. Huh. Then next week is the Stack Deck comedy show that I'm producing at Laughing Stock Comedy Club in Granville, PA. Tickets are on sale. They're only $20. You can get your tickets at laughingstockcc.com. So please come out.
Laughing Stock is my nickname, by the way, just in case. And GD will be performing Fellatio at the parking lot behind Home Depot. In Westminster.
That's Matt's favorite parking lot to meet guys in, so that's why GD is.
No.
Upon recommendation.
No. Ace Hardware. Get it right.
Oh, Ace. Oh, so okay. So he wants you to meet gay Mexicans instead of
tasteful. The theme song is "Ace is a place to get that tasteful dick." Yeah,
that's right. That's right. And no, do you have anything this weekend, GD?
No.
You're just coming up with these impromptu streams that you do without telling us about in the middle of the night, or is that what you're doing? Like last night, you did without telling your friends from the morning show that you were doing a stream. You just decided.
I did mention it, just that nobody gave a shit.
Did I?
I pay attention to everything, and I've helped you set up your online shows.
You said it, and I said nobody gives a shit. Is that what happened?
Yeah, that's okay.
Wow.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with
I
that.
gotta get some better meds, man. I don't remember any of this stuff.
You sit through the Reverend show, and you don't remember most of that, and you're there an hour a week. And
who's this Reverend?
The Reverend's show.
I don't know. I never heard of no Reverend.
It's okay. I understand. I don't take offense to it at all. It's no biggie.
No, you shouldn't be.
GD's going to be doing some recycling this weekend.
Wait. That needs a sound effect. It definitely needs a sound effect to go with it. Unfortunately, I can't just pull the clips out of StreamYard and then edit them and put my sound effect in. But if you send me that, I am performing this weekend, but I don't want to say where because there are Nazis on my trail. So I don't want them showing up and killing me. So I just want to say this.
So won't you be at Max's Tap House, Matt? You'll be at Max's Tap House in Fells Point, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
And Laughing Stock.
Laughing Stock, yeah. So you'll be at Laughing Stock.
Just in all seriousness, not in all seriousness, in the tiniest little bit of seriousness. If I'm not here Monday morning, check all the Nazis, and they'll, whatever. If I just go missing suddenly in the near future.
But how will we know that you're missing as opposed to just not giving it like you just how will we know there was Nazis and you just didn't do yourself in, or that the chickens didn't take you?
Yeah, how do we know?
Yeah.
If I'm not, listen, I'm here every day except when there's a funeral, right?
So we have to hire Darren Paltrowitz to look for you, right?
Yeah, what if you meet a guy in a parking lot and he kidnaps you and he's not a Nazi?
I'm not meeting any guys in parking lots. I don't have any more equipment to sell.
I'm sure you have some equipment to sell, Mr. Napo.
All right. Well, I'm going to crash this thing into a wall. It's going to repeat. It's not going to repeat. Anyway, so yeah, that's the show for you. It's a weekend. It's time to have a weekend, and maybe we'll all get through it, and maybe I won't. That's all I'm saying. I'm not really.
Oh, stop it, you big Fanugan. You're gonna be fine.
I don't. What is he doing? Do you know what he was doing?
I think
see, Steven knows. Steven is very hip to.
Those are his fisting warm-ups, like
the guy pulls up in the car next to you and does that, and then you say, "Oh yeah, I'm down with that," right?
No.
You too, Jay.
But no, it's just my generation. We grew up with all.
He's saying, yeah, but no. Yeah, but no. Which is it? Yeah, but no. Yeah, but no.
Maybe.
All right. Well, thanks to Jackie. Thanks to Darren Paltrowitz. Paltrowitz cast, which was still on for some reason. It's time to get going. We need you to. We need you, Matt. Stay safe. Really, nobody needs me. You know what they need me for?
What about the other three of us? It's like, yeah, Matt, you stay safe. Fuck the other three.
Yeah, right. They need me to pay the bill to keep StreamYard going. That's about it. And listen, we're paid up for a year, so if I go missing, you can expect to be GD's black coffee with Lumpy and the Silent Man. Yeah. All right, get out of my room. I'm going to say goodbye. You guys have a great weekend and enjoy your gigs or whatever you're doing. Get out wherever you are. Get out wherever. All right, it's time. Time has come. The Nazis are here to get me. It's time to say goodbye. Don't forget to turn on your radio. Have a great weekend. And if you're a Nazi, don't have such a great weekend. How about that? Bye for now. Have a great day.
now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now.